Alright, tonight's video is going to be all about light. Next couple videos are going to be about lights, actually. The Hornady 366 light, and then what I've done here. So I did decide to route the cable through the tube all the way down to keep things as clean as possible, and then obviously out the bottom. But in order to do that, I actually had to dismount the whole case feeder as well as my lock and load dual bin in order to take each of these bolts out, nuts and bolts, because the head of the USB adapter was just too thick to get through here with the bolts installed. So it was a simple process, just feeding a fish line through and then pulling it, but it did have to come down and then remounted. So I wanted to show you what it looks like at nighttime with both the light bar as well as the Inline Fab tool head light and the differences. So I will set the camera up on the tripod and be right back. So I'm going to give you an idea of what it's like at night with the lights off. Not that I would be reloading in the dark, but again, just to give you an example of how much light the light bar from Unique Parts throws off. So it's hopefully it's picking up the fact that it's pitch black. And there is the Unique Parts, and it's the right side of the press. And I will move the camera over so that you can see the left side of the press. But before I move the camera over to the left side of the press, I want you to take note of this shadow right here, because that is where all of the action takes place for the reloading. So the tool headlight from Inline Fab, and there's a bunch of other people that make it too, 3D printed or other, that lights up that area quite nicely. So between the tool head light from Inline Fab and the light kit, the light bar, what I'm calling the light bar from Unique Parts, throws off a tremendous amount of light so that one could reload, with minimal amount of light. So let me move over to the left side of the press. And here we are with the left side of the press. Again, the light bar, if I put my hand over the light, makes a tremendous amount of difference. So I'm just covering. So if I put my thumb over both of the lights that the Unique Parts light bar is throwing off, I still have illumination on the shell plate from the tool head light. But if I open up the left side and then again the right side, this light bar throws a tremendous amount of light. Again, without that light, things here are kind of dark. Whereas this completely illuminates the press. I can see my my digital counter and such. And then if I were to turn off the, again, quite shadowy. So between the two lights, I would say that is a tremendous difference. And again, having all the cables route through the bottom of the steel pole is nice and clean. Everything has come together quite nicely. So again, clean solution. And I don't know that I would ever reload at this level of darkness. In fact, I'll turn on my overhead light and I'll leave these lights on so you can see that difference as well. So at a minimum, my press would look like, if I turn that off, so not a huge amount of difference, but some. And then if I'm off with the light bar, again, it's a little more shadowy. That light bar throws off an incredible amount of light with the LEDs. So that might be a permanent addition in terms of moving forward with both lights, just to take any of the guessing work away from missing something because of a shadow. But I like the lights and the combination of the tool head light and the Unique Parts, what I'm calling the light bar. and there's probably a fancier name for it. I'll have to look on Unique's Parts website to see what the official name, but I'm calling it the Lite bar. And I like what the Lite bar does. In fact, one of my suggestions for Jack was to put a cap, little red cap, on the top of the steel pole. Well, now that I've run the wire through that for the Lite bar, that's unnecessary, and I moved up one of the clamps just enough so it covers the top of the steel pole. So that's a null and void issue, and I would say this is probably it for some of the upgrades. I do have an idea though, and this is my bullet feeder, and I'm going to run an idea by Jack and Unique Parts that might work, tying into the steel pole for expandability of this platform. But that's it for now. The next video I'm waiting on parts is going to be an equivalent Lite for the Hornady 366 shot shell press. More to come.